Onda, everyone, Cinemigos across the planet. You got Jaime and Fuego here with my co-host
Cecil Laird, what up?
Dan Rizzle, and we are actually here to give you a recap of our summer reviews for Enfuegotainment, the hottest entertainment with an edge. And we've done a lot of films now, man.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list, and it's definitely more so than I would have thought. But I appreciate you involving me because there's no way I would have gone to the theater to see as many of these as we have this summer as a result of Enfuegotainment. So thank you, sir.
No, dude, it's been a lot of fun, and I extend a grande gracias to him for bringing me on for the horror show, or else you probably wouldn't be seeing him sitting here with me to begin with. So let's get right to it, man. We're going to do Bueno, Malo, and Feo, as per the usual, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Naturally.
And the summer season, it's kind of strange, man. It used to start in, like, at the end of May, like, what? Memorial Day weekend, but now it's been stretched all the way to April because Avengers came out in April, and that was pretty much the first big film. But I'm going to mention that one later because I was a little bit disappointed with the Avengers. As far as my Bueno, the two films that come to mind, and we're going to try to keep it to two. Bueno, you know, we just did a review about Turbo Kid, and we're going to gush about it just a little bit more so here. Goodness gracious, it's kind of funny how my favorite film of the summer not only was not a big budget blockbuster, but it came at the very end of the summer season.
Well, not only that, but the fact that both of our top two Bueno movies are the same says a lot about these movies, you know.
Both were kind of under the radar, too.
A little bit. One of them is still, you know, has a lot of backing behind it, but it was not as much backing as the rest of their movies. But yes, 100% Turbo Kid is in my top two for the entire summer. It was the last one we saw for the summer, and it was, I think, my favorite of the summer. Yeah. Fantastic movie.
Neck and neck with the other selection, and the other selection being Ant-Man, you know. And the reason I say that was under the radar was because nobody knew anything about the character. You know, I went in I mean, as far as like mainstream movie audiences go, you know, they didn't know crap about Ant-Man, and they were kind of, at least studio-wise, everyone was like, what kind of money is this film going to make? And yet it still topped the box office. It's still stuck in there for weeks and weeks in the top five. Made way more money than they expected it to.
Well, it was the first superhero heist movie that we've seen. Yeah. And it was great.
Plus it had all the behind-the-scenes stuff with Edgar Wright departing, and so people were kind of, they were wondering.
They were leery of it.
Yeah, they were wondering what the finished product was going to be like, and so Ant-Man ended up delivering way better than I expected it to. It was flipping awesome.
It was tremendous. It was fun. It was funny. Same way that Turbo Kid was. I mean, Turbo Kid was obviously way more gory. Yeah. But that's part of why I liked it as much as I did. And then Ant-Man was just chock full of
so much funnier than I thought it was going to be.
So fun. We were laughing like pretty much the whole time. It was great. Yeah. It was totally fun. So
plus awesome visuals. We saw it in the IMAX, man, and you know it's kind of unfortunate audiences aren't going to get the opportunity to see it on a big screen again because seeing the smallest, you know, superhero in the Marvel universe on a big screen, it was just really amazing.
It was a juxtaposition, but it made sense.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm going to let you take away the Amalo, I should say. Yes, exactly. The bad, you know, we saw over a dozen movies, and I'd say only a couple were like really, really bad.
Yeah, but, as much as I did not
what tops your list of bad?
I would say as much as I did not like Pixels, my top two bad movies are going to be Minions and Fantastic Four. And as someone that's read tons of Fantastic Four and I actually kind of enjoyed the silly ones with Jessica Alba and the dude from The Shield.
Michael Chiklis.
Michael Chiklis. Yeah. This one was just
Captain America
awful,
was in
and
there
it was
too, the future Captain America.
Oh my god! Yeah, right. Yeah, Chris Evans. But Fantastic Four was just painful, and I love superhero movies, but it was flat out painful. Totally. And then Minions was clearly not for me. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: the best animated movies, one of which we saw this summer, was Inside Out, which we both really enjoyed.
It wasn't in our top two, but it was right up there.
It was right up there. It was good. It might be the most emotional of all the movies we saw this summer.
Yeah, not meant for kids, even though it's a kids film.
It worked for both. That's what I'm saying. Like that was the nice thing. It had both sides. Kids could enjoy it for the colorfulness and the silliness, and adults could enjoy it for the much deeper reason with Bing Bong and the moment towards the end, and like there was just so much to take away from it that was not in Minions. Yeah. Minions was literally stupid silly for stupid silly sake, and the main voice, you know, I dig Sandra Bullock, she's a great actress, but she was not on her A character in. Well, no, she was just being Sandra Bullock, and that wasn't enough. You need a character
Truly.
to be the bad guy. And when you're just being Sandra Bullock but stern, that's not enough. Yeah. That's definitely not enough.
Steve Carell's absence was just a glaring omission. You could
Steve Carell's almost absent.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I guess he was there very briefly.
Yeah, but it was it made a huge difference. Was it even him
voicing it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was him.
Was it?
I checked the credits at the end.
Oh, okay.
But it was just stupid. You know, seeing the Minions and their hybrid language of like Spanish and Latin and gibberish.
This guy's got a lot to say about Minions. He did not like it.
Frustrating. It was
I actually
frustrating
chuckled a little bit, but it was a bad movie.
It was really bad. So yes, I'm going to say Minions and Fantastic Four took the cake for the Malo for the summer for me.
Yeah, you're actually, I'm right there with you, man. We have the same 2 picks again for the sheer fact that Fantastic Four, unlike Ant-Man, troubled set and all that stuff and changes and whatnot, but whereas Ant-Man knocked it out of the park, Fantastic Four, even though they kept the same director,
couldn't recover.
They could not recover. And when the studio is hiding the film and not showing it to critics beforehand and all this other
stuff, always
a terrible
sign.
We knew we had a turd on our hands there, and that is no bueno. So yeah, even though Pixels was a bad movie.
Pixels was terrible.
But I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you've done a lot more redeeming values than I did. Yeah. And there was just, my biggest problem with Pixels, first off, which I didn't mention in the Pixels review, completely misnamed. It should have been called Voxels, because 3D pixels are voxels, and the whole movie was about 3-dimensional pixels.
Yeah, you're getting all professional.
Big problem for me. But besides that, the script was freaking terrible.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, Adam Sandler was the least of the issues in the movie. He was actually a little bit fun to watch.
Okay, he's put out a lot worse films than that.
He definitely has,
right?
but it wasn't one of his
Jack
films.
and Jill, for God's sake.
It wasn't a Happy Madison production.
Yeah, it was a Chris Columbus.
Exactly. So the script was the worst thing about the movie, and they did what they could with that, but it just didn't make sense. It was terrible. It's right up there with the other 2 for me, but Jaime liked it more.
It's a little bit different. It's like one of those films where it's so malo, it's bueno, it's so bad that it's good, at least for me. But yeah, man, Minions was just, it was pretty wretched. I chuckled here and there a little bit more than him, but whereas Inside Out kind of had a lot of heart to it, and it had some thought to it. I actually felt like I was a little bit smarter after seeing all the different emotions and whatnot. Minions made me feel dumber.
Yeah.
As I left the theater, I felt dumber, and it's making kids dumber, so that's even more unfortunate.
Do not support, but it's made so much money.
It made over $1 billion.
It's made so much money. It's
crazy.
Ridiculous. There's no way they're not going to make another one, which is such a shame.
It's actually Universal's $3 billion film worldwide this year, and the others were
literally
Fast and Furious and Jurassic World. Yeah. Face palm. Yeah. And so we eventually have to go into the Feo, and originally I was thinking like say Fantastic Four for Feo or something, but I'm actually going to switch it up and use the Feo as an opportunity to talk about films that we thought were a little overrated, or films that didn't really get the appreciation they deserved, or were like needlessly, kind of hit on, and just kind of not given the due attention. I thought Tomorrowland, a lot of critics slogged it. Tomorrowland, it might even be in my top 5. I had a lot of fun with it. It was captivating. It gave us that feeling of being kids again, right?
It did. It was full of wonder, as I said in our review. Like I when they showed Tomorrowland itself, and specifically when the main character was on the the monorail of Tomorrowland or whatever, I felt the same way that she did. I was just like, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah.
And while Jaime thought that the violence was a little over the top
for a movie marketed at children,
right?
And stuff,
but I think we're far enough removed to say that most of the violence takes place against androids, which is why I was okay with it. But it's really hyper violent at parts.
Totally. Yeah.
But I like that.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed that.
As a fan of Turbo Kid, where they're blowing people up in the big old buckets of blood and stuff like that, I loved it. But that was actually one of my few Feos in that particular review. So
I'm gonna go on and say what one of my first Feos is definitely Avengers Age of Ultron.
Totally.
And here's why I call it a Feo.
Right there with him.
Because I love the Avengers. I enjoy most of the Marvel movies, but this one, it fell apart. There was so much of it that was just set up for future Marvel movies. It was just another movie that was them versus robots, which we saw in Iron Man 1, we saw in Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 3 too.
Iron Man 3, yeah,
all the suits and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
It's just like, oh God, enough with the robot bad guys. Just enough with it.
Yeah.
We can move beyond this. And it was frustrating, and there's a reason that Joss Whedon is no longer involved in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and that's because he got all these notes that he had to abide by from the studio.
Which he loved. He was left kind of disillusioned with having to tie into, all the other films, and even like kind of take credence to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show and stuff like that. And it's a lot to take into consideration.
Yeah, it was a big pain. So what's your other fail?
I'd say the last fail for me is a personal fail because I walked into a film thinking it was going to be ugly and stupid and not worth my time, and I actually loved Spy.
That's fair.
Was great, you know, and not being the biggest fan of Melissa McCarthy, I mean, not so much a big fan, but just not really too acclimated to her body of work and stuff like that.
I was much more familiar than Jaime was going in, so I was expecting the funny.
Yeah.
He was surprised by the funny.
I was, yeah. And it was a film, I mean, even though Melissa McCarthy was great, for me, Jason Statham stole the show.
Hilarious.
He cracked me up.
Came out of nowhere.
Every single scene he was in was just pure gold. I was laughing. And also the other foreign guy whose name is totally eluding me right now.
Which one?
The guy who spoke in all the different accents and was like hitting on
I don't know his name, but he was really funny. Yeah, he played like this Italian lascivious character, but was he? You know, by the end, you're not really sure.
You're like, whoa, I'm not sure.
Exactly. So, yeah, you know, I agree with you. I enjoyed Spy way more than I anticipated, although I did have high hopes because I do enjoy Melissa McCarthy. I haven't seen Tammy, which I hear is not great, but all of her other stuff is really funny.
Stuff about Tammy. It's got the guy from The League in it who I like so much. He's also in
I've
Safety
heard the
Not
reverse,
Guaranteed.
but I liked her with Sandra Bullock in The Heat. They're doing a sequel. It was actually by the same director as Spy, so it makes sense.
Kevin Feige,
Kevin Feige, whatever it is. It's Paul Feig, Kevin Feige.
Yes, okay.
We gotta get it right.
I know. I actually messed that one up quite a few times when we were doing the Spy review. So yes, let's give proper credit where it's due. So
now my other fail is something I think you'll agree with as well. My fail, and it's fail because of this reason. Everyone loved this movie. It got critical acclaim. It got popular by viewers. It just came out on DVD as we record this. That is Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
And here's why it's
overrated,
failed for me. Yeah, it was a little bit overrated. It was cool. It was a 2-hour car chase.
Yeah, we had fun with it.
Yeah, it was fun, but it just wasn't as great as everyone seems to make it out to be.
We saw it at the beginning of the summer season too, and so like we didn't know what to expect from films like Jurassic World, which would definitely be in my top 5. And if not for being edged out by Ant-Man and Turbo Kid, I love Jurassic World. I thought it was great.
But yeah, the Mad Max, and here's the thing, I'm not saying it's bad by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a good, solid film.
The feats that they accomplished, you know, I think they wrecked like 230 plus cars in the filming of the movie.
They spent a lot of money on it.
Spent a lot of money, a lot of time making it. And, you know, that's all well and good. I'm not taking away from that. But it just wasn't as good as everyone seemed to make it out to be. It was like this huge revelation to all these people. And it's like, yeah, it's a good action movie.
Yeah.
And that's basically how I reacted to it.
And especially after watching Turbo Kid, which just kind of blew it out of the water for a film that they probably spent a minuscule amount
Mad Max on bicycles.
Yeah.
And yet it was somehow more entertaining than Mad Max Fury Road, which was this huge multiple hundreds of millions of dollars movie, you know, when all's said and done, I believe. It did really well, and I'm sure they're going to make another one, which is all well and good, as I said, but it just didn't live up to what everyone said.
I think they've already confirmed another sequel.
Yeah. Although
this one did so well.
The director is supposedly going to be doing the next Superman movie.
Yeah, George Miller. There's whisperings about that, but you know, I guess that's going to be after Justice League, and so we have a lot of fun to look forward to, and you guys have a lot of fun to look forward to with Cecil and myself this fall, because there's a ton of other great films coming out. Star Wars. he's freaking in love with this movie. I tell you what, I'm so burnt out on this trailer that they released. I'm sick of it too. I need more footage, man.
Yeah, we need something else. That little 15-second Instagram thing that was still 10 seconds of stuff we hadn't seen and then 5 seconds of stuff we hadn't seen.
I got stoked about seeing Boyega Dude from Attack the Block. If you guys haven't seen Attack the Block
is amazing.
Film.
Amazing.
Certified Fuego right there.
One of the best creature movies of recent history, for sure.
Great British horror comedy. Tons of fun there. And so, yeah, tons of fun coming at you guys here on Enfuegotainment here as the fall season commences. And so this was our summer recap. We hope you guys had fun with it. I had a ton of fun with Cecil doing all these reviews.
Thank you for letting me join you, sir.
Absolutely, man. And if you haven't seen any of these reviews, most of these flicks are going to be hitting home release soon, and you're going to see me kind of tossing them back out there. So if you don't seek them out yourself, they're coming back at you.
Whether you want them to or not.
Exactly right.
Watch them. Just watch them.
That's right. We order you. That is a direct order. Most of them are certified Fuego, but we kind of advise you as to the ones. Our reviews are still fun, even of the bad ones.
Yeah,
so,
we try.
Yeah, exactly right. So I extend a grande gracias to all of you guys. I'm going to kick it back to Cecil once more so he can tell you about our project that we do together besides this.
Absolutely. That is The Horror Show. It's a horror variety show on YouTube at youtube.com/The Horror Show Channel or thehorrorshowchannel.com. We're also on Facebook Facebook. We're also on Twitter
Facebook.
Yeah, we're also on Twitter. Well, that's The Horror Show Channel on Facebook as well, so it's all the same there. We're on Twitter at Horror Show 666, Instagram The Horror Show 666, but we do horror movie reviews, how-tos, comedy sketches, celebrity interviews,
convention coverage.
Yes. Tons of convention coverage, and we just started doing horror Let's Plays. In fact, we did our first tabletop horror game Let's Play in Dysonstein, so seek that out and enjoy The Horror Show. We're going to be coming at you with a lot of coverage from Scarefest 8 in Lexington, Kentucky, the largest privately owned horror convention in the country, so you got a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, so if you don't get out there this year, definitely keep it in mind for next year if you are fans of the Scarific, the Hortastic. So, Hortastic, maybe that's a little, that
indicates something else.
But it is the Horror Show. So in any event,
Horror-tastic, I think is what he meant.
Yes, fright-tastic. I don't know. I like to make up my own vernacular most of the time, guys, as I did with Enfuegotainment.
If they've been watching Enfuegotainment, I'm pretty sure they know that.
Yes, and so I extend a grande gracias to all of you guys once more. I'm Jaime Enfuego. You can find me on all social media sectors, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And so until we connect once more, Sin Amigos, adios, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Turbo Blast once more! I love Mega Man.